Okay, so that was interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that ending, but hang on, before I finish this game off and do my outro, let me just go back and play through these chapters real quick where I missed the collectible. That way I can just pick them up, and yeah, and then I can do my outro, so let's do this real quick. Loading a chapter may result in lost progress, however you can always return to any locked chapter afterward. So I wonder if I have to, once I collect the collectible, do I have to finish the chapter for it to count? I mean, I guess, in a way, it doesn't really matter. Only because of the fact that, like, you know, I'll get the achievement either way. And that's really what I'm after, but we'll find out. I'm gonna do this one real quick, get out to the main menu, and then see if it counted. If not, I'm gonna come back here and just do it again, and then I guess try to go to the next checkpoint. Now, what's interesting is that I actually didn't notice this, but when I first played through this game, like, I was looking for this collectible in this level for so long. I mean, obviously I didn't know where it was, but now I know that it's here. And it even like showed you kind of where to go, because the camera literally panned to the right over here, and I didn't make the connection. So let me send him over here. How do I... Yeah, I gotta go to the other side. Yeah, to close it. Alright. Alright, that should open up the way forward to the next collectible and achievement. Just glide over there, go to the cave, and there we go. Alright, well, there it is, look at that. Keep atop the mountain. Alright, so there's one. Call of the Mountain. It's a rare achievement. The mountain's eye beheld the withers approach and whispered for what? Let me see. And whispered for aid from another. Okay. So that's this one. Let me see. Did that save? I think so. Let's try to see. If it actually did. So I'm gonna go back to chapter select here. And yes, okay, it did. Cool. So the next one was over here in the Wither Storm. So let me load it up and figure out where this next one is. So, I was pretty thorough, so I'm not really sure how I missed this, but... Let me see. So, Wither Storm. trying to look over here. Alright, let's see. What is it focusing on? Nothing. That's weird. Let's see. I can't go back anymore? I can. Alright, so let's open the way forward. This thing is really weird. Alright, so let me see. There's supposedly a cave around here. Peck peck. Alright, so I remember this part, you gotta like lead the crab over to eat kelp. Did he not go? Oh, I gotta do this one first. Yeah, I'll go to this one automatically, and then I have to do the next one. Where's this cave at? Maybe I can go to it without doing all this stuff. I don't know. Alright, cool. So this is the Wasted Evolution achievement. Alright, cool. Wasted Evolution achievement. Nice. Wasted fused with other creatures to extend the reach of their searing beam. It was not enough. Interesting. Alright, and then we got one more, so we can just exit to the main menu here. And then the last one is over here towards the end. In the Sensorium. Okay, so this is where the Beyblade, and I wonder, let me see, behind the purple ore cluster hit another wither sack, so it's like, it's pretty close by. right here. Alright, got this one. I did not notice that. So it's over here. What? No, I didn't mean to do that. Oopsie daisy. That's the exit. Oh, it just did automatically. Mount I Lives achievement. Alright, and this one says... The Keeper awakened as the Wither failed, bound to restore life beyond this place. Only 5.64% of gamers unlock this, so... Another rare achievement. Alright, cool. So, there you have it. That's the last one, and that means we 100% of the game. So we can go to the main menu and do this outro real quick. Alright guys, so yeah, I mean, that was The Keeper from Double Fine Studios and Xbox Game Studios. You know, pretty cool game, as I pretty much expected. As you can see, the end screen is also, you know, the menu screen is also different because we finished the game, so that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, I honestly, there isn't much to say about this game. It was beautiful in so many ways. I mean, the graphics, the art style, just the imagination behind this game, the creativity. I mean, it was a very touching story between, you know, a sentient lighthouse and, you know, a bird, his bird companion, who also, you know, eventually we found out she was a mother and she had a baby, and, you know, and just, it was kind of like, you know, an interesting take just on life and how, you know, nature kind of takes its course. You know, and I guess also, I guess a message of how, like, you know, there's gotta be, like, you know, we gotta help nature to kind of, like, you know, be healthy and whatever, but also at the same time, you know, nature eventually kind of, I guess, in a way corrects itself, you know, even if it's corrupted by, like, you know, outside you know, sources, I guess. And in a way, you know, we do, as humans, we do that. So maybe it's a take on that, like humanity and how much we've corrupted nature and the world. And, you know, I guess, I don't know, maybe we're the Wither, you know, in our story, and eventually we'll be taken out. And I don't know, maybe that's like high level thinking right there, but interesting, very, very interesting game. I mean, the story was very beautiful, very touching, like I said. You know, it was just like a story of, like I said, the sentient lighthouse and the bird just trying to bring back life to this world that has been corrupted by the Wither. Obviously this was a one-off. Like, I don't think there's going to be a sequel. It would be really interesting if there was. I mean, wasn't really set up for a sequel. Maybe, I mean, I guess you could kind of say, I mean, would you really want to play as this big mountain elder guy that, you know, the god that you basically became at the end of the game? I don't think so. I don't think that would be an interesting game, to be honest with you. I think, like I said, this was a passion project from one of the people at Double Fine, and you know, I mean, they do these things, you know, they allow a lot of their staff members to just kind of like do their own projects, our own passion projects, like in between like their big releases. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, otherwise we wouldn't have gotten this game, you know, if they were just like all about Psychonauts and all about Costume Quest. If they're even ever going to go back to Costume Quest, it would be really cool to have another Costume Quest game, especially if they do it, like, you know, before October of this year, I guess, at this point, because we are in 2026 now. I've always enjoyed the Costume Quest games. You know, the second one was better than the first one, but, you know, they both hold a special place in my heart because I did play them as, you know, when I was a kid. I think the second one I was a little bit older, but the first one I was like in junior high school, and it was very, very awesome thing to experience, especially around, because I remember that game came out literally in October. I think they both kind of did, and they were really amazing to play on Halloween. Yeah, I mean, I replayed them on my channel, and they were a lot of fun, even the second time around. But you know, so like I said, there's gonna be probably no sequel to this game. Obviously no DLC as far as I know. Maybe it could be a DLC. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think the story kind of like it ended a little bit on a cliffhanger, kind of. Got, you know, but they do that a lot. This studio does that a lot, where they just kind of want to use your imagination to kind of, you know, piece the puzzle together, and you know, just kind of, you know, figure out, hey, maybe, you know, you think about what happened, and you know, maybe, I don't know, think about what the next outcome is or whatever. But yeah, so other than that, the achievements, you know, fairly easy. For the most part, some of them were a little bit elusive, like the last 3 that I had to get towards the end of the game. You know, they kind of perplexed me. You know, I was kind of rushing, and maybe, you know, they were a little bit out of the, you know, definitely not in the vicinity of where you were trying to go for the most part. And you know, and it was kind of hard to see where they were, especially like in the water levels, because, you know, that place is so vast. So, you know, the one that was under the waterfall kind of almost tricked me, but I was like, nah, this is too obvious. But yeah, so really awesome game. Only took about like 4 to 5 hours to finish. I think at most it would take you 6 hours, especially, you know, that you would have to be really like just taking your time with the game. It's a really short and sweet game. Awesome game. I definitely recommend it. It is on Game Pass, but I bought it just to support Double Fine. You know, because I love all their games. I pretty much have all their games. You know, so and I definitely want to play some of their other games that I do have, but I've never played. Especially, you know, like Tim Schafer. I love what he does. You know, he's a really good game dev and a, you know, good creative developer. So definitely gonna keep supporting him in all his games. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, and this is not my last video for this game, because I am gonna do kind of like a series of videos for all the achievements separately, on top of doing like a whole all-in-one video for all the achievements. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to come out right after this finale. And yeah, that'll be pretty much it for me. As always, thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to keep slaying those achievements, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be, you know, like I said, an achievement guide for all the achievements in this game. And then I'm not sure what the next project will be, but I'm going to keep you know, keep it rolling and keep playing like all these interesting little indie games, and also, you know, kind of mix it up with some of the games that I have to do. Like, I have to finish up Oblivion Remastered, and I do want to do more ESO videos, Elder Scrolls Online videos. So, but yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to keep saying those achievements, and I'll see you guys in the next video, alright? Have a good one. Peace.